Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing match here at the Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. The beginning of Stage 1, Season 3, now headed into the Black Watch division. We've got Calamity versus NaCL.Exe. Your play-by-play for the evening. Myself, Captain Jack, joined by the dankest of monkeys, filling in on the color roll tonight. How you doing tonight, Dank?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. I think I'm can speak for everyone here when I am ready for this diamond match here tonight, Calamity and NaCL. Extremely excited to see both of these teams play.
I am as well. Now, as you know from season 2, NaCL did come in last place for the Black Watch division during season 2. So, this is their chance to essentially start the season off on the right foot. Calamity is the creation of a combination of Monarch and Frost this season, as well as some others that have joined the team. So Calamity is a brand new team with probably some familiar faces. How about we go ahead and roll those introductions for Team Calamity? We've got KBC and Degentle Touch coming in on the tanks, Mango and Ikkyo coming in on the DPS, and Crispin and Krosky on those heals. What do we got for NaCL.Exe there, Dank?
With NaCL, we've got Lyrule and Mesa playing those tank roles for us tonight, and that is a duo. I'll tell you what, with the DPS, we got Eternal and Creep. And then with our supports, we have Widowfaker and Bacon. And man, am I excited for this team.
Yes, there is a lot of well-known names, well-known players on both of these teams this evening. I am really excited to see how this is going to end up working out for them. They also have quite a few swaps as well sitting in the spectators area right now, so we may be seeing some additional names that we have not been able to see play yet this season. Our first map of the evening is going to be Nepal. Now, Nepal is a great map. The diversity of the three different maps that make up the Nepal area: Sanctum Village, and I
Shrine, I
always forget
believe.
that it's
Shrine, I
not
believe.
Shrine. It's
Is it
not
not Shrine?
Shrine. It's not Shrine because I was corrected in a
Is
stream
it?
that I've done recently, but I always forget what it is because it looks like a shrine. You would think that that's exactly what it was, and it's very similar to what we see. I believe it's on Busan, and that's kind of where we make the connection to, but it's not Shrine, and I never remember what it is. So if you know in the chat what it is, feel free to let us know. I just know that there are a lot of great maps to play. There's so many different compositions that can be played, but of course, we have our hero bands for this season as well. This week's hero bands are Rhine for the tanks, McCree and Widowmaker for the DPS, and Brigitte coming in on those heals. So we're not going to be seeing any of that today, but there is some echo action going on, which I'm sure was a surprise to a lot of people. Her getting immediately thrown into competitive. First map of the evening, going to be Nepal Sanctum. This is the Boop Central of Nepal with that big old chasm right off the side of the objective, and it looks like we have quite a few booping characters coming out for either side. What do you see coming out there, Dank?
For our boops here, we have Krosky and Widowfaker both on that Lucio, and then the Gentle Touch and Lyrule both on the Orisa. So those could be some devastating combos with the Halt boop, and I'm excited to see what happens.
I agree. We also see Ikkyo and Eternal both going on that Echo to start out for this first match of the evening. Let's see if they can make it work already. We see Calamity working their way into the objective. They have already gotten that first pick for the side of Salt. Make that 2 as Eternal able to take down Ikkyo with those grenades. It's a 4v6 fight as they move their way into the objective, looking to see if they can get that Halt off the side. The Gentle Touch trying to hold on as long as possible, but Mesa really getting in their face right there. Lyrule ends up getting the pick onto Krosky right there as Gentle Touch ends up falling to Mesa. Control of the objective will end up going to Salt.Exe.
And Salt honestly playing that exactly how they needed to. Just giving Calamity that little bit of time and setting right back up in that same corner. This is the spot that they want to play in. They don't want to play to get pulled off of that point. They want to play to pull them off. They want to be able to focus them out in the open here. And that's the biggest thing. For Lyrol, she's going to have a ton of space to work with, and they're working back in this back corner for this little bit of a bunker composition with that Torbjorn.
All right, well, it looks like they're going for the drop down onto the objective this time around. The ult comes out, ends up missing, though, as they move their way in. Mesa ends up getting KBC with the accretion, but control will go over to Calamity. The fight is far from over, though, as they start their percentage climb. Mesa and Creep going in, getting those picks as Eternal takes down Ikkyo once again on that Echo. We see Mesa sending Crispin right over the side and re-grab control of the objective, 35% in climbing to Salt.Exe.
The only thing with this strategy, it's working extremely well for them, but they have to take these fights so quick so they can get that progress back. If they don't cap that point as fast as possible, then it's going to give Calamity the ability to win one fight at the end and end up winning this whole map, or this whole point, I guess.
All right, well, let's see if they can make it happen. It looks like we see the swap of Ikkyo over to the Reaper as we see the Molten Core and Gravitic Flux come out. Creep ends up getting the triple kill, quad kill after the Gravitic Flux sends Mango down. Team Kill gonna go ahead and ring loud and proud as the percentage continues to climb for Salt.
Very nice ult usage there by Salt, only using 2 ultimates, and they have 4 still online. They had all 6, Mesa and Creep being the only 2, and the Torbjorn ultimate, the perfect ult to cut off that push, as they were trying to wrap all the way around and fight this team comp face to face. And honestly, I think that's about all you can do.
That is true. They have to find a way for Ikkyo to get in that backline and do some damage, and it looks like that's what it's going to be. Oh, but immediately getting taken down by the anti-nade and the accretion. Mesa going to grab that kill onto the Nano Ikkyo as they continue to move their way in. Now the Nano and the GPS boost going on to Eternal, looking to see if they can clean up the rest of the objective. Kroski ends up sending Lyrol over the edge as we see Calamity regaining control of the objective at the 99% mark for Salt. The fight continuing on right now just off the objective where we've seen Salt set up the entire time. Mesa ends up getting the pick onto Kroski and continues to try to fight for control, getting back in there. Now the bongos coming out for the gentle touch as they move their way in. The accretion ends up grabbing Eternal as the Gravitic Flux grabs 2, ends up taking down Widowmaker on that Mercy as they go ahead and push them all the way back to those doors. Creep just trying to see if they can take the objective on their own, but gonna get punched out by KBC. 45% and climbing for Calamity.
Couple ults there, felt were a little unnecessary coming out from the side of Calamity. Salt was already getting kind of staggered and kind of overcommitting to that fight, but in the end, it doesn't really matter because those ults were used and they will not have them for this fight. So Salt goes into this fight with an equal ult play, but Mesa is coming up on that Gravitic Flux with the Torbjorn ultimate once again.
All right, let's see if that combo will work out for them. A huge ult at the beginning of that fight, got in a lot of damage, but not a single pick to be had. Echo and Mercy currently in the sky right now for Salt as they go ahead and move them into the side room. Now the Coalescence coming out for Crimson, looking to see if they can use that to their advantage. The Blizzard now coming out in turn with the Molten Core from Creep, ends up getting both KVC and Mango right there as Crispin able to take down Mesa, but now the Nano going in onto Lyrol as they go ahead and clean up as that Orisa. Creep's turret ends up taking down Kroski as they try to move back in on that objective. 99-99 control still in favor of Calamity as they try to get back onto the objective, but we're going to see them get taken out. Gravitic Flux comes in from Mesa, ends up getting 2, and the kills are coming in strong. Ikkyo ends up getting stunned out of the Blossom right there as you see KBC now in on the ball, ends up getting taken down by Mesa as well. Team Kill rings loud and proud, and Salt.Exe will take this first map here on Nepal, 100-99.
That was a lot closer than it needed to be, but that was because of the strategy that Salt was playing there. Again, keeping off of the point, but a little bit of a stagger coming out on the first fight that Calamity actually did win. Gave them just a little bit more percentage. You could have ended that game. Honestly, it probably still would have ended 100-99, but it felt to me it was a little bit closer than it needed to be. Now, Eternal copying that Doomfist on with the Echo ultimate there at the end of the fight was honestly just massive. Being able to get 2 ultimates off inside of that Echo ultimate is just disgusting, honestly.
No, I agree with you there, and I do have to correct myself. It looks like you were right. This is actually called Shrine, and I'm not for certain who told me that it was wrong before, but I'm glad to see that the internet always prevails. It looks like we got a dive comp coming in, though, from the side of Calamity, immediately getting taken down by the beam of Eternal as they go ahead and try to dive into that back line. They're going to continue to push in on this 5v6, looking to see if they can grab control as Creep now on the Reaper ends up getting the pick onto Krosky, continuing to fight their way in. Creep just looking to be a force of lots of damage on that Reaper. Mesa and Eternal getting picked onto Ikkyo and Mango as well as Salt.Exe grabs control of the Shrine.
Krosky Bacon from the inside of that bunker is able to control anybody from coming into there. You have Lyrule to pull people out, you have Bacon to boot people out, and the Wrecking Ball a few times there tries to swing in, pile drive onto the bunker of Salt.Exe, but is not able to because Bacon is just on top of it with those moves.
That is true. Eternal Ore getting the kill onto Mango, and the Blossom coming out from Creep ends up getting the double kill onto Gentle and Krosky. Eternal will get the follow-up onto Ikkyo as well, and that is going to be the team sent back to spawn, 35% and climbing for Salt.Exe.
We do have Widowfaker and Bacon switching positions here. Widow on the Ana this time, Bacon on that Lucio. And it seems like, honestly, I like this setup a little bit better. I think Bacon is controlling that space really well. I think Widow honestly wanted to play the last point for those boot potential, try to set up with Lyrule just a little bit, but didn't really matter because they still won it anyway. But here we go now into this fight.
That is true. The Coalescence ends up coming out as the Nano gets used onto Creep, is able to get that pick onto the Gentle Touch, but ended up honestly getting wasted right there because Creep was already in the retreat when they got Nanoed. They're moving their way into the objective though as the Gravitic Flux comes out, ends up getting 3, but it's not able to get a kill until Mesa takes down Krosky there in the end. Right now, Mango on that May, looking to see if they can get everyone frozen so the damage can come in. Bongo's now coming out for Lyrule as well as the beat from Bacon, trying to hold everything together. Eternal taking down KBC as they re-enter the fight as Ikkyo trades out for Lyrule. Coalescence now coming out to come. Kamehamehas, if you will, trading now on the objective as Mango gets the double kill. Overtime now ticking away for the side of Salt.Exe as they continue to lose control of this objective. They're going to end up getting pushed off, and control will be captured by Calamity. Oh, just barely, just a tick left for them to grab that objective. There we go with KBC taking down Mesa. They will start their percentage climb.
And Lyrule and Mesa staying alive for a very long time. Lyrule dancing that shield so well in the corner against that Reaper. Honestly, should have been taken out a lot sooner. But like I said, the shield dancing coming out from Lyrule was just massive there to keep that team alive. Be able to halt non-stop, be able to put people in the disadvantaged position. And Salt almost coming out on top there, but not able to do such a thing.
All right, well, Salt looking to take the high ground to move into the objective, but not seeming to get a pick that will be advantageous to them. But now they're engaging right now. Eternal on the flank. Gravitic Flux coming out after the halt, ends up getting 2. But everyone but KBC able to get out of there. Now the Beyblade coming out from Creep ends up getting 2 as Mesa and Lyrule follow up on kills of their own. The only one left on the objective right now is Krosky, trying to hold on, but now getting booped off by Bacon is going to end up solidifying that kill there by Eternal. 56% as they swap over. Time ticking away right now, and it looks like they're not gonna be able to touch despite the Coalescence. Salt.Exe taking away their first victory of the night here on Nepal.
And that was a really clean push there from Salt, able to utilize that high ground and distract people to go to force their attention onto that high ground. Well, Eternal actually wrapped around behind, but this Tor Bolt from Creep was just massive, cutting off the entire push. What are you going to do? You can't back up. There's Tor Bolt behind you, and then as soon as you start to back up, there's the Gravitic Flux underneath of you, and there's literally nothing you can do there.
Yep, there was just nothing that they could do, unfortunately. They had to try to engage, but it just was not possible for them to do so. Salt looking to set a new name for themselves this season after getting the first victory here on Nepal. If you love what we're doing here at the OCCS, be sure to hit that art and punch that bell at the top of your screen so you're notified every time that we are online. You can also hit that sub button, $4.99, or a Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will give you access to some amazing emotes and support our awesome community. As a matter of fact, you can even see this 6-month streak that I got going on here at OCCS, just doing my part as well as casting to support our amazing community. So be sure to do what you can, whether hitting that heart or that sub button. We are heading to Kings Row for our hybrid map this evening next. So based on what we have seen so far, Salt looking to take that ranged attack as much as possible. We saw that a lot on Sanctum, being able to use kind of that bunker composition to stay off the objective as much as possible, but still control the area around them. It literally kept Calamity from going any which direction that they tried to attack Salt. They could not get into that bunker composition that they were holding. Now, as we head on to Kings Row, I feel that we're going to see very similar composition coming out from the side of Salt.Exe, looking to try to hold that objective with that bunker comp, or even just trying to hold the choke point with that bunker, whereas Calamity might be opting into more of a dive strategy. They seem to be a little all over the place based on the different team comps that they have picked. So it'll be interesting to see what they come out with. It looks like we do have some swaps coming in for either team right now, so that also could be something that could completely change up what we end up seeing for this match coming up. So be sure to pop off in the chat. Let us know, how do you think this match is going to turn out? Do you think Salt.Exe is going to go into the halftime with a 2-0, trying to reclaim that lost streak in season 2, or do you think Calamity will be able to tie it up, just making a new name for themselves as the newest members of the Black Watch division? What do you think there, Dank?
Not a whole lot. We have Prez coming in for KBC and Yixi coming in for Bacon as we go into Kings Row here in just a moment. We're waiting on the ready from the teams as Salt.Exe or NaCL.Exe is up 1-0 after our first map. Here we go.
All right. Well, Kings Row, aka Scrims Row, aka Goats Row, aka the map that we are all tired of seeing at this point, because it's been essentially in every Overwatch match ever seen. It seems like there's still just so much strategy that is involved with a map like this. I mean, you have the high ground advantage, which can be taken by both attackers and defenders as positives and negatives. You have the choke gate right here that can be used for the advantage of the defenders, but also that window that allows the attackers to get on the other side without being immediately directed. And just the introduction of Echo changes up how this map could be played completely. It looks like for the defending side, Salt.Exe, they are going to be coming out again with that bunker composition. Creep opting for the Genji this time around. How do you think that that's going to change what we see coming out for the attacking side there, Dang?
Creep actually switching over to the Ashe there, but the attacking side, we are going to see Lyral and Mesa back on that Orisa Sigma, and that's what I love to see with Widow and Yixi now coming in. Going to be playing that Mercy. I think that's going to be huge value onto that Ashe.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Huge ult Ore coming in from Prez as they move their way in, going in the same direction, ends up getting an accretion hit, but Prez with the first pick onto Lyral is Creep straight with the dynamite onto Crispin. Is a 5v5 right now as they move their way back to the objective, just trying to stay grouped up as much as possible around their heels. Prez ends up getting taken down by Creep as they continue to get pushed back to the objective. The Dynamite ends up getting some damage onto the shield as it is a 4v6 fight now as they re-engage, getting the first tick now on the objective. 3 minutes on the clock. Prez trying to get back from spawn in enough time, but it looks like they're going to end up giving up objective alpha, giving them 5. Oh no! Already a blizzard on the objective as Mango just barely able to touch, allowing them to retake control right there. Mesa getting the double, triple kill right there. Ikkyo following up on Mesa though, as now the bomb on the field from Creep ends up clearing out both Ikkyo and Mango. Objective Alpha will be captured, giving them 5 minutes to push through the street.
Lyrule getting picked off extremely early in that first push. Looked like it was going to be the end there for Salt. You know, have to rewrap, go back to the spawn room. But fortunately enough for them, that was not. Lyrule got back fast enough. Mesa was able to hold down that front line. And now Mesa pushing extremely aggressive here, trying to give their team as much space as possible as Lyrule is coming back to this frontline fight.
All right, well, it looks like we have the regroup coming in as well from Calamity. They move their way in. The Hulk from Lyrule ends up getting 2, but no accretion to follow that. The anti-nade does get 2, though, from Widowmaker, as the team now pushing them back to point number 2. Bongos now dropped from Lyrule as we see Eternal working in that back line as well. 4 minutes remaining on the clock as Eternal and Mesa just showing to be guardians of damage right now. Lyrule getting the nano from Widowmaker from the cart as they continue to push to this second point gate, and I don't think there's anything right now that can stop them.
Honestly, it kind of seemed like maybe a little bit of a zoning nano. You don't want to walk into that nano to Orisa. Her fire rate is just insane, and Lyrule being the one on that Orisa, gonna be able to get those huge halts and just deal a ton of damage. That's not something that you want to walk into.
All right, well, Mango on that Mei still ends up getting a good wall that separates out Lyrule. Will get taken down by the Gentle Touch, and now we're going to see Eternal choosing to go onto the Sigma as well for a second Dramitic Flux to be dropped with the Blossom on the high ground from Ikkyo. Ends up getting the double kill, not able to get Eternal there in the end as the Gentle taking down Creep's mob. They will regain control of the objective. 4 minutes and 30 seconds for Salt.Exe.
Creep using Bob there is maybe trying to push back that front line just a little bit. The tanks are in a lot of trouble there, and you know that Bob can create a lot of pressure in the back line, maybe force your tanks to swing back just a little bit, but unfortunately that is not what was accomplished there.
Well, the Bongos already popping out from Prez, looking to get aggressive, see if they can get a pick. Ikkyo will get that first one, but Mesa will trade for Crispin as Eternal ends up falling to Prez as well. The Bongos will go ahead and wear out here, and another 30 seconds shaved off the time there.
And that Bongo that Bongo there was just huge. Being the only ultimate that comes out there in that fight is so strong for them. Being able to keep up that ultimate economy with the Blizzard and the Coalescence coming out now.
Oh, the Hulk comes in, ends up bringing the Coalescence together, but the Dynamite and Rock will send Crispin right over the side right there, thanks to Mesa. And now we'll see Eternal get the nano as the res comes in from Yixi. And it looks like
It might be Lyrule. I think it's Lyrule. Calling it now. We probably have a DC here, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. Just know, folks, we are all playing, casting, producing from our homes, so it sometimes we have DCs happen. It looks like it was one of those quick ones, though. Lyrule's still here. We're still good to go. So as soon as the teams are ready, we'll go ahead and get this started. Once again, 3 minutes, 27 seconds on the clock right now as Salt.Exe super aggressive in this push. And the only thing that seems to be keeping them at bay is the staggered ultimate use that is coming out from the side of Calamity. But it seems more so that it's just kind of just that. It's not necessarily to get picks, but it's more so just to try to kind of keep the team at bay from engaging onto the objective. And with them now being able to push all of Calamity off cart, most of them coming out of the spawn right now, as we see the engage coming in from Eternal, should end up proving incredibly damaging for them if they can't get back on that cart.
It was Lyrule. We did see DC there for just a moment. Fortunately enough, not losing that ultimate, did not get kicked out of the game, but we are back now.
Woo! The accretion ends up grabbing Prez after the ult comes in. Bob now coming in, ends up getting stopped on the objective, and Creep just gets the double right there, taking down both Prez and Ikkyo, looking to get that additional pick onto Kroski as well, but just did not have the damage to make it happen. We are seeing Mango and the Gentle Touch holding this objective right now as much as possible. The accretion ends up getting Mesa. Now the Mongos and the Gravitic Flux coming up for either side, and it's a slam down from Mesa. Ends up getting the double kill as Creep follows up onto Crispin right now. Prez, the only one now on the objective. A 1v4 will get melted by Mesa as objective 3 is captured with 2 minutes, 26 seconds on the clock.
The double Gravitic Flux, now that's what I call a Space Jam coming up. Both teams there. Mesa going to be the one to get the kills there, fortunately enough for Salt. But I would honestly like to see Creep on the other high ground there, looking so they can see both sides spawn doors. You'd be above the team of Calamity. I think it'd be a much more advantageous spot. Didn't feel like Creep did a ton in that fight, but the dynamites there were still so helpful for the team, and he was out of the way of any incoming damage, just holding that tight angle, able to, put up a couple headshots into anybody that decided to peek.
And that's pretty much the best that you can do. I know for myself when I play Ashe, not all the time are those headshots as advantageous as we would hope. Me against any type of Widow is always an amazing battle, but if you can get a huge dynamite behind that shield, 4 or 5, even the whole team being set on fire and not in the good way, it can actually provide a lot of damage for your team. So despite the positioning, I think Creep was doing an incredible job, and although the Bob was odd, it ended up being sat on cart, essentially, still ended up getting value, ended up getting 2 kills that allowed them to push past that bunker. And now we're going to see them come out, exact same comps on either side for the most part. Ikkyo giving up the Echo for now Ashe as Mango takes on the Echo. Definitely going to be interesting to see how the change of heroes will be advantageous to them.
Ikkyo's Ashe is really good. I'm not sure about Mango's Echo, as Echo hasn't been out that long, but this is a comp that I like to see.
All right, well, Ikkyo and Creep already trading kills right now as Perez coming in from Yiki onto Eternal, but Prez will take down Lyrule as well. And it seems like we're just seeing a recap of what we saw during round 1, except this time it's Calamity pushing the Salt.Exe out of the gates right there. 2 ticks right now on the objective as we see the re-engage from Eternal. Widowfaker able to grab Kroski with the anti-nade, but that's not going to be enough, as we see Mango and Ikkyo getting the double kill on the DPS for Salt.Exe. They will grab the objective with 5 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock for the streets.
And it was once again there, Lyrule getting picked off extremely early in that fight is what crumbled that team apart. Mesa unfortunately not able to hold that front line together that time. Eternal trying to buy just a little bit of time to get Lyrule back in that fight to recontest first point, but not able to do so. Gets back just a little bit too late. It's what happens when you don't have a Lucio, but running that Widow, or sorry, the Ana Mercy there, honestly probably just the better heal.
Yeah, it just ends up working out for them already. The grenades in the backline as Mango take down Eternal super quick. Bob gets traded out for the Coalescence. That comes out from Creep and Crispin right there, and is now holding the cart as they disengage just for a moment. Mango getting Widowfaker with the grenades again as the Bob ends up taking down Ikkyo, but they will continue to make their way through the streets with 4 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
This is a little bit rough here for Salt, because you see Widowfaker on the Ana there has three people that she has to heal. She has the Echo, who's up in the sky, and then she has her frontline tanks. So she's looking at those frontline tanks, trying to hold that together, and Mesa is in a lot of trouble here, actually.
And almost getting picked off right there, but Eternal able to take down the bongos is going to provide a little bit of relief as Lyrol and Creep end up picking off Prez and Mango right there. After grabbing Objective 2, they will have 5 minutes and 30 seconds to push into Objective 3.
And back to what I was saying, now this third point here is a lot better for the healer composition they're running. They're not going to be split off. The high ground is very accessible from everywhere. So Yixi is going to be able to fly between Creep and Eternal, where Eternal was flying in the main ground the last time. It was a little hard for her to get to full DPS.
Alright, well it looks like Eternal is taking advantage of that high ground, ends up getting the first pick, and Broski going Battle Mercy, but now we're going to see Eternal use that ultimate to swap over to the Sigma once again, just to be able to escape with their life. They're going to go ahead and push Calamity back to spawn with another minute off the clock.
I really like the spectator for Echo when you ultimate, like it still shows their player portrait, but it's kind of like, you know, that team's color. It makes me very happy how they did it.
It's definitely huge, and the Bob going in for Ikkyo right there ends up going a lot farther than I had expected it to go. Ends up going into the side room, so not going to get a whole lot of value except for taking down Creep's Bob right there. They're going to go ahead and continue to move their way in, looking to see if they can use their advantageous position to get in there. We see Mango using the ult to bring in another Sigma, but not able to get enough value to grab that Gravitic Flux as well. The Coalition's now coming out from Crispin, allowing them to continue to push forward as the Nano ends up going in onto Lyrule, but with all the shields down, it's hard to keep continuing to push on that objective. Mango in the sky ends up getting the kill onto Creep, with the rest coming in for Yixi. Gravitic Flux ends up getting 3 right there and grabs the objective with 3 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock.
That's what I like to call a Sig 9 there. The Sigma still being on the cart, but ends up Gravitic Fluxing and just floating a little bit too high, allowing the Orisa for Calamity to just push that right on in, while the rest of her team is up above in the sky, waiting to come on down. And unfortunately, the Sigma flew a little bit too high, not able to contest there. And it's not something that we want to see from a Sigma player, unfortunately. But it does happen. It happens a lot. It happens in the OWL. It happens in comp. It happens in QP. It happens everywhere.
Yes, I agree. And one thing that I've noticed in my last couple of weeks of casting, and I don't know if this was in an update that I just missed the patch notes on, but did you notice at the end of that, they ended up shaving off the extra 28 seconds that Salt.exe had to bring them to an even 2 minutes, as well as 28 seconds off the clock of Calamity. Is there a reason? Do you happen to know if there's a reason for them doing that now?
So the way that they do that now is if both teams finish with above 2 minutes, the team with the lower time banks gets brought down to 2 minutes, and however much it brings that down, so say they finish with 3:28,
yep,
then that'll take a minute 28 off. And then that takes a minute 28 away from the team with the higher team bank as well, or time bank as well.
Interesting.
So, unless their time bank will always be even to 2 minutes if they're both above 2 minutes.
All right, well, Creep automatically taking out Ikkyo with that Sonic Arrow. The rest comes in for Broski, though, allowing them to continue to hold strong as the Dynamite ends up grabbing 3. Creep will take down Mango, but Ikkyo's Dynamite taking down Eternal in tow as well. It's a 5v5 right now on the objective with a minute 30 on the clock. And it looks like the picks are coming up strong for Calamity as Ikkyo able to take down Lyrule as well. Mesa trying to hold strong with all the support that they've got right now, but it looks like they will successfully go ahead and pull back. Prez trying to get back to the safety of the team right there. Minute 10 now on the clock as they retake control of the objective. as now, once again, the re-engage coming from Salt.Exe and Matrix coming out from Widowfaker has decided on the Baptiste this time, but Mesa will get taken down by Ikkyo right there. Mango and Gentle able to get picks of their own as well. With only 45 seconds remaining on the clock, they will clear the objective of all Salt.Exe.
I like that Salt isn't afraid to keep that pressure up while Lyrule or the rest of Salt are coming back from spawn there, but a huge halt and I don't really know what it's called, sticky bombs coming out from Mango and Prez there, able to put in a ton of damage to the entire team of Salt.
That's a 5-man gravitic flux with the haul right there. Gentle ends up getting the double as the Bob, now thrown into the corner, ends up taking down Lyrule and Yeezy. With only 10 seconds remaining on the clock, I don't believe they're going to be able to get to the objective in time. We see Widowfaker swapping over to the Lucio and will just barely be able to touch right after Eternal. Prez able to get the pick though as Widowfaker and Lyrule trading blows on their own. Now we're going to see Mango coming in with the Gravitic Flux as the Sigma looking to do some damage. Ends up taking down two as the res comes in onto Widowfaker. Yixi falls to Mango. Coalescence now coming out from Crispin as they return from spawn. Overtime ticking away, and Mango and the Gentle continue to hold control of the objective. Not a tick to be had for Salt.Exe.
Tell you what, Mango switching over to that Sigma is a little bit scary. You got two Sigmas, two giant rocks coming at your face. You have two shields that can easily reposition. That's terrifying. That's going to be hard to fight through.
I can agree with you there, and we have seen that also for the side of Salt, but it's just that lately Eternal has just been getting picked off by Ikkyo way too quickly in these rounds, so Mango has just been up and up on those ultimates for the Echo. So with 3 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock, all they have to do is grab a tick to tie up this series before we head into halftime. Do you think that Salt can hold this objective for that amount of time?
With Eternal switching over to Mei here, I think it could be a huge possibility. That's what I was saying about Ikkyo's Ashe. I didn't really say that it was going to keep Eternal in check, but I knew that that's exactly what it was going to do. I feel that's why they switched Ikkyo and Mango on the roles there. Ikkyo was playing so well on that defense, being able to keep Eternal in check, and that was really the biggest thing that they needed to do. But the Mei and Torbjorn here is gonna do a lot of work against that Echo Ashe and Widowfaker on that Baptiste as well. The Immortality Field and the Amplification Matrix, it's just, they're such good team fight utilities that I'm excited to see how the defense goes.
All right, well, the turret already going down as they make their way through the Adelworth Hotel, looking to get into that back line as Ikkyo and Mango. The Dynamite ends up grabbing two as Eternal ends up falling to the flames. The res will come in for Prez and Eternal, though, so it's now a 6v6 fight once again. Torp turret in the back line looking to see if they can take down Mango. Will end up being unsuccessful, but will keep their attention long enough to try to hold them off from pushing into the objective. And now Control looking to go on the side of Calamity as the Gentle takes down Lyrule. We see Mesa just barely able to touch it. The Amp Matrix now coming out. Coalesce looking to see if it can counter. Maywall looking to separate it out as Lyrule swapping over to the Ham, and now we're seeing Rabbinic Flux come out from Mesa. Ends up taking down the Gentle as we see Mango coming in as the Sigma as well, looking to see if they can grab that value of a Gravitic Flux of their own. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to earn that in enough time, though, as Eternal takes down Prez. A minute and a half off the time bank as they pull back for a regroup.
And that's really lucky for the side of Salt that Mango was not able to get that Gravitic Flux, because Salt was kind of just hanging on by the skin of their feet, able to hold that point together so well. Mesa able to touch, and the Gravitic Flux was, or sorry, not the Gravitic Flux, the Amplification Matrix was huge.
All right, well, we see the Bob get thrown out, but the Icy Hot, as I've dubbed it in other organizations, coming out, the Blizzard and Molten Core ends up getting picks as Creep with the hammer ends up taking down Ikkyo, and the Molten Core takes down Crispin. Another 30 seconds off the clock.
I don't like that they use both of those ults there, because now you come into this fight, possibly your last fight, with only the minefield. I mean, they're almost to their Gravitic Flux, which could be a huge one if Mesa lands it, but there's the mines coming out.
All right, the minefield ends up going out around the statue, looking to see if they can get that pick, as now the bongos come in from Prez, looking to see if they can get that value, ends up getting taken down by Lyrule, but the double kill comes in earlier for Mango and Ikkyo. It's a 4v6 right now, as the Torch Turret sitting in the back line. Gravitic Flux coming out, looking to see if they can take down Mesa, and will end up being successful, canceling out Mesa's Gravitic Flux. That will give them exactly what they need to grab Objective Alpha, and with 12 seconds remaining on the clock, Calamity will tie up the series 1-1 here at OCCS.
Once again, Mango copying that Sigma. That's 2 Gravitic Fluxes that came out so fast in sequence from Calamity there. And Crispin with the Moira play of the game. Man, I thought they fixed that.
You
getting taken out early, getting in their Gravitic Flux. Mesa got taken out right before that landed, and, you know, get a couple heal orbs there, get a little bit of healing. You know, that's play of the game, apparently. The Zental Touch with 32.5k damage blocked. Wow. Crispin with 30k healing, Creep with 22k damage. Those are numbers I like to see. It was definitely a 16-minute game. So
yeah, I mean, that was a lot going on in just those 15 minutes. But we're going to go ahead and throw this to a 5-minute break. Go ahead, get yourself a snack, use the restroom, whatever y'all need to do. The OCCS will be back in about 5 minutes.
We've never done that, we're not gonna do it. Turn them off? We've never done that, we've never done it, we're not going to.
I think me just may not be familiar with it. We did that over at TRT, so he probably thinks a lot of other run like that. But yeah, we'll talk afterwards.
I'll talk to him about it, but I'm not going to turn him off mid-game. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even notice that they used 2 Gravitic Fluxes in that fight. Oh, damn. Yeah, that would make... Wait, were they...
Mango ulted, and...
Oh, nice. And then...
So, the Sigma Gravitic Flux came out, and then the Echo Gravitic Flux came out as soon as they landed.
So I told him, get it.
think you still have Dank's audio on.
I'm muted.
Oh, well, apparently not in the stream, because while we were talking about the skins, you can hear it in the stream. So.
How about you?
Ended up working out for them when we moved on to King's Row. Our next map, though, Rialto, our escort map for the evening, could take us back to Nepal if they look to use the river as a swimming pool, aka boop everyone off the bridge and hold it at like a 10-meter mark for 4 minutes. So it will be interesting to see if that is the strategy they decide to use, or if we're going to continue to see the echoes come out for either side. It looks like, though, we do have a swap for the side of Salt.exe. Mars coming in for Eternal and looking to possibly pick up that Ash role against Vicky.
Also, Training Bot coming in for Crispin. On the support side for Calamity, I'm a little surprised to see that Krosky is not playing Lucio, trying to make people go swimming here. That's something that, you know, I think I'm a little used to him playing from playing against him, but maybe this is more just a comp comfort pick there with the Echo and the Ashe. I feel Mercy is just so strong with those two.
Well, it looks like based on positioning, they're not even going to look to use the bridge, which I always feel is kind of a disadvantage, but I mean, I'm just a plat player. What do I know, right? Right. Well, we see the anti-Ore coming in from Widowmaker, ends up getting Prez as they go ahead and push them around the corner, but it's going to be a pick coming in from both Mesa and Lyral. Creep on that Echo, getting a double kill of their own, taking down the heals as the Gentle falls to Creep as well. That is going to be a cleared path to Objective Alpha with 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock.
And that's a huge anti coming out from Widowmaker, able to get that Orisa, you know, just a little bit overextended there and not able to fall back in time. Tries to get around the corner, but not able to do so. But Lyral getting the big pull on the training bot.
That's going to be huge for them right now, with Mars also taking down the Gentle Touch. Only one on the objective right now is Prez, but with the shields preventing any type of healing from coming in, Creep's going to get that pick, grab objective 1, and give them 5.5 minutes to push to objective number 2.
And with Prez being the only one on point there, all you gotta do if you're Mesa is throw up that shield behind him. He's not gonna get any healing, and just Prez falls so fast on that point.
And they're already moved up to the objective choke here for objective area number 2. So it's going to be interesting to see how Calamity re-engages this fight as the cart now meets where they're at.
This is always a choke that I'm not a huge fan of fighting at, but I understand why it's such a hard choke.
Woo! The sleep dart coming in from Training Bot ends up wasting out Creep, but the Gravitic Flux coming in at the end. They're able to solidify that kill as Creep gets the triple. That's going to go ahead and clear the objective for right now as both Prez and the Gentle Touch go ahead and get taken out, and they continue to move that payload into objective 2.
You can sleep the Echo ultimate, but it lasts 15 seconds. That sleep doesn't do a whole lot. You've got to be ready to burn down that sleep, you know, return Echo to her original form, and that's just something they weren't ready to do. Creep there was able to get that Gravitic Flux immediately off as soon as he woke up, and that was what really turned that around, stopping the res and able to set up Creep for a ton of kills there.
Well, Assault right now showing an incredible amount of aggression right now against Calamity as we see the bongos coming out from Lyral. They're trying to push in on it. Dynamite, Gravitic Flux, and Bob all coming out at once as Mesa able to take down Ikkyo's Bob incredibly quickly. Mars will end up falling to Ikkyo there as they drop from the sky, but the rest of the team's gonna end up falling for the most part. The only ones left right now are the Gentle and Krosky retreating back to the safety of spawn, but Creep will end up getting that pick with the Echo Laser as they move their way into objective number 3.
Look at this pace, 4 minutes and 40 seconds. It's about to touch the final, but not able to do it.
All right. Mango now coming in as the Orisa pick for Echo this time around, but no one's near enough to the cart for them to continue to hold on as we see Krosky coming back in as the Moira just to be able to touch and get eliminated by Mars. 4 minutes, 24 seconds on the clock. It seems that that instead of shooting for the moon, they should be shooting for Mars.
Mars, the track and field star, bringing it in for Salt.exe, able to make that sprint to the finish there. 4 minutes and 24 seconds. That is such an incredible time on this map specifically.
Yeah, that kind of time bank is going to set them up for a really good round 3 and 4 if they even need it right now. And I'm not for certain what happened to Calamity this time around. It seemed like Ikkyo was super strong on that Ashe for King's Row, but now just having a very hard time, really struggling against the power that we're seeing coming out from Mars now. It's almost like it's a a battle of the deeps, as if it isn't usually that anyway. But for the defense, we do see the Pharah Mercy coming out for Creep and Yixi right here, with Mars choosing to stick on that Ash. Double shield still coming out for either side, with Mango and Ikkyo going for the new Goats strat with those shields and the May Reaper combo.
I'm a little surprised to see Creep switch over to the Pharah here, but honestly, I think it's just for these environmental kills. I like to see that, honestly, because of the May Reaper that is coming out on the attacker's side. And I think that the Pharah is a really good pick that just happened to work out so well with Ikkyo not being on that Ash. And there's the double pull from Lyra.
Bolt ends up sending 2 over the side as Mars picks off Prez as well. Creep getting the follow-up onto Mango there, and the objective is cleared. 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
The double pull, the boop into the pool, like that was just a clean play all around from Soul. I don't know if it was intended or not, but it was good. I love it.
That was just incredibly well timed, but still, Ikkyo now switching over to the Ash, looking to see if it can take out the Pharah Mercy in the sky. Gentle ends up getting the first pick, though, onto Lyrule as the high ground continues to be held by Soul. They're going to go ahead and jump down, but the hold comes in, grabbing 3 as they go ahead and continue to move in. The anti-nade from Widow takes down Ikkyo as they continue to push into objective number 1. Kroski and Mango following up on those picks, but Mango will fall to Mars. There in the end is a 4v3 now on the objective, as we see Creep looking to see if they can get that barrage in the back line. Almost got it up online, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and give up objective number 1 with 5 minutes on the clock.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Creep switch back over to the Echo here. Personally, I just feel like the Pharah is not working out as well. The Echo being able to create a third tank and give you such high sustainability in that front line, I think it's so strong, and Creep was building ultimates really fast. I think the Echo here is what they really need to push this over the edge and make this into a hold.
Alright, well, Ikkyo has swapped over to the Soldier 76, his training bot on that Moira, sending out the Coalescence. Creep sends the barrage in the backline, getting the Gentle right there, but that's about it, as Ikkyo taking down Creep with the Helix rockets. Now the Nano going on to Yixi. I don't think that was the intended target, unfortunately. That Battle Mercy presence right there. But it looks like the cart will get past the choke and make its way into objective 2.
I don't think Yixi was the intended target, but I don't think it was a bad target there. It did end up getting Yixi out, even though Mercy can get back to the fight pretty quickly.
All right, well, Bongos and Bob right now on the objective as they try to get frozen out. Creeps now back onto the Echo as predicted. Will take down Mango after they get the Icicle up. Dynamite going into that back line, ends up getting 3 as Creep able to get the pick onto Prez. They're going to go ahead and push them all the way back to the initial bridge as they regroup for another push.
Something I've been sleeping on mentioning just for the last couple of fights here, not the last, but the 2 before, is Mango actually just getting a pick there, an exit frag onto Mars, forcing the res. Mango's walling off Lyrule 2 fights in a row were just huge. It's what got them the first fight, it's what got them the second fight, and they've just been so clean being able to separate that main tank from the rest of the team. It allows your team to get so aggressive and take a ton of space and get that early pick.
Well, let's see if they can
There it is again, baby.
Oh, Coalescence already coming out as Maywall comes up, separates out Creep, as now the Gravitic Flux and Bongos get used. Tagvisor also coming out from Ikkyo, who I believe also got a little boost right there as well. Ends up getting 2. Mango and Prez able to follow up kills on that, grabbing objective 2, now giving them another minute and a half on that time run.
So, something I just learned, you can get out of Sigma Ultimate if you use Echo's Ultimate and copy somebody. It cleanses OCC, and I didn't really think about that, but yes, Creep there transforming into the Sigma, trying to get a ultimate of their own. Got the ultimate, just got cancelled unfortunately, but able to not get slammed by that Sigma ultimate was kind of huge, and something that they should definitely look at utilizing just a little bit more.
Interesting. Gravitic Flux, though, ends up getting 5 as everyone ends up falling out. due to the stun onto Mesa. Blizzard ends up hitting the objective though for Mango as they get the cleanup coming in, grabbing 3 with 3 minutes 20 seconds on the clock. Unless somebody touches this cart, I think that's going to be objective 3 as we head into round 3.
And still such a good time coming out from Calamity there, not able to get onto the cart. Assault.exe, not quite as good as Salt's time, a minute and 8 more. But as we mentioned before, you will see Calamity go down to 2 minutes. Salt will have 3:08 for this final round, possibly final round, maybe not. So Salt at a little bit of advantage here. I think they looked extremely strong on attack. They'll probably put creep. I guess they're defending, but they might put creep back on this Pharah. And I think if this Pharah can work well enough on this bridge, then they may just full hold. But I think creep just didn't get enough value out of that Pharah, and Mars coming over on the Torbjorn with creep actually going on to the Echo once again. Ikkyo switching over to that soldier, and that soldier pick is going to be huge. You know, the Reaper, I think it got a lot of pressure onto the tanks, but having that Mei, it kind of creates that pressure anyway. Putting that wall up behind, you're just creating that innate pressure. So the soldier there to pressure out what he doesn't know is Mars's turret and creep in the sky on that Echo. It's going to be able to get creep, it's going to be able to Yexe, shut down Mars. I think this is such a good pick for me.
I think that is incredibly true. Let's see if we will see a full 2-minute hold here on objective 1, or the pushes will come in strong. Already the Holt being used a little bit early right there, not as expected as I would have thought. They're going to push quickly past the bridge despite the anti-nade, as Krosky taking a little nap right there thanks to Widow Faker, who's going to continue to push forward, not getting any picks right there. The Hulk comes up to the Maywall, separating out Lyrule and Mesa right there, will end up getting them their first pick as they aggressively move their way forward. Maywall separating out Mesa again will allow DeGentle to go ahead and get that pick. And it looks like they will go ahead and grab objective 1 with 1:15 on the clock.
And that's exactly what I meant by creating that pressure onto the tanks. You have the Lucio, you have the Mei. The Mei is able to get those walls up behind the tanks, shut down all healing, all DPS. And unless you can get around that wall very quickly, but that takes a lot of communication. Lyrule actually getting a double pull there on the President.
That is this fight for them. But they do have the spawn advantage, and the cart isn't nearly as far as it could be yet. So they did give themselves a little bit of breathing room if they can get some additional picks here, but that cart is still moving furiously forward, as well as the rest of the team being able to get back into that fight. But it looks like another Hulk almost sending them over the edge will end up being unsuccessful. Bongos now coming out for Lyrule as we see the freeze coming in. Ikkyo gets the double as the res comes in for Mars. Ikkyo with a triple now, taking down Yexe with the Helix rocket. They're going to clear the objective once again, and with only 15 seconds on the clock, they may grab objective number 2.
This is what I'm talking about with Calamity's comp. I love their comp. I think their comp is just better. I don't dislike the Echo Mei, but I think that the soldier is bringing more value in this, and I'm not sure that healer composition could be a big factor to that as well.
Well, the Gravitic Flux already coming out from Mesa, but we've already got 2 that can fall onto the objective. Creep and Mars getting the first picks onto Training Bot and Ikkyo, as now the Gravitic Flux comes up from DeGentle in return with only 0.29 meters to push into the objective. The anti-nade ends up grabbing 3 as DeGentle still trying to hold on as long as possible. Now we're seeing the Blizzard coming out from Mango, just trying to hold on to the objective for as long as they possibly can. They cannot get off. They have to keep touching as the picks continue to come in for Calamity. Now we're seeing Mesa coming back over to the ball. Spin to win right now on the objective as they try to hold on for the rest of the team to get back in here. Mars coming in as the Mei, looking to see if they can freeze somebody out, but looking to be unsuccessful right now. Will get pooped away. Objective 2 is captured, and overtime is quickly ticking away.
I'm really glad Mars did not use Blizzard there. I think that was a really good self-control move to not use that, because this is the fight that you win with Blizzard. As long as training or the Gentle Touch does not eat this Blizzard, this fight should be won right here.
All right. Well, they also have Mango and Prez who can negate the effects of Blizzard for the most part. So let's see if they can make it happen. Blizzard coming out onto the objective, and it looks like Prez will go ahead and use that protect, but somebody still has to hold on. Mango using the icicle to hold on to that, as well as the Maywall separating out the team from engaging, as Widowmaker getting the first pick onto the Gentle. The freezes coming in opposite directions as Creep and Mesa able to get picks right now on the objective. The only one remaining right now is Mango. They will get stalled at the 54-meter mark here on objective 3.
And that's what I mean. Mars saving that Blizzard was so good for the side of Salt. You know, we saw them get through this whole map in probably under 3 minutes. I don't know how long exactly it was. I could be 100% wrong on that. I might be dumb.
Just about.
But Mars saving that Blizzard gives them the chance to really take this home. They don't have to push it all the way to the end. They just have to get around that bend. And if they can get around that bend, that's a map win for them. So not blowing that ultimate in a lost team fight is just massive. I think a composition swap needs to come out from Salt if they want to pull this out, but I do like the way that they're playing.
Well, it looks like we're getting a mirror for the side of Calamity. It looks like Ikkyo going to be taking the Torb this time around, using that icy hot combo of Mango and Ikkyo on the Torb and May. For this fight, should be interesting. Creep and Mars, though, choosing to go for that May Reaper once again. Definitely going to be interesting to see how they end up holding here, especially with Kroski and Prez probably looking to get some value out of those boots.
And here I think the Reaper is the good pick here. They don't have an Echo, they don't have a Pharah, they don't really have anything that you have to focus down long range, except for maybe the Torb turret. But I think the Reaper is the better pick than the Soldier for Calamity's comp.
All right, let's go ahead and see if they can make that work for them, as Prez putting up the shield once again with the Gentle, and both shields going down incredibly quickly. Maywall separating out the healers from the rest of the team, but does the exact same for the side of Calamity. They're pushing in, getting aggressive, and Prez getting the first pick onto Lyrule right there. The Gentle following up on Mars as well. The only one left on objective right now is Creep, but will get taken down by Kroski there in the end. 2 minutes, 22 seconds on the clock.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Creep switch. I don't think that he's doing poorly, but I think that he feels he needs to make those big plays, and he may save for a Death Blossom and then try to swap off. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to the Echo. I think the Echo works extremely well on attack, but I don't think that the Reaper is a bad pick here, getting Prez extremely early.
That is huge right there, as the Halt ended up coming in along with the Accretion, and Creep on that Reaper was able to get the value needed, ends up getting a second one right there as they take down Mango and look to move into that backline. Almost got that Blossom online. They've got them pushed back off of objective number 1, but they may have enough time to re-engage. Here comes Calamity getting wild right now as Creep moves their way to the high ground. Coalescence now coming out from Training Bot as the anti-nade goes in. Gravitic Flux up as well, but the Maywall is separating out where the Gravitic Flux can go. Does not get the value that it's looking for. It's Ikkyo sending out the goo. It's the goo all over the objective right there. Ends up getting one, and it looks like we will see the contest come out from Calamity, grabbing just about everyone except for Creep hanging off to that side with only a minute left on the clock.
Minute and 4 seconds, and then they go into overtime. This is going to be a really hard push for Salt to make, but we've seen it done before. Now the defense here for Calamity is honestly extremely strong, but the Torb turret taken out that early might be huge for them. You don't have that little bit of extra damage going into your backline. This could be what Salt needs if they take this fight fast enough. You have to shut down the Sigma though. The Sigma is running out of control.
All right, the Bongo's already coming up, but the Maywall ends up freezing it out as we Blossom from Creep go off in the back line, takes down Prez, but Ikkyo taking down Creep in return. The Blizzard now coming out from Mars, looking to see if it can solidify picks as Creep gets the res. Mars will take down Mango as Training Bot takes down Mars and Yixi. It's a 2v4 fight right now on the objective. Creep able to take down Ikkyo, but Widowfaker and Creep will fall to Krosky and the Gentle with only 1 second remaining on the clock. Whoa, Lyrule just barely able to touch despite getting a Creation right there. The Gravitic Flux will come up looking to take down Mesa, but with the pocket of Yixi is going to continue to hold on even if it's just for a moment. Overtime continuing to take away as Ikkyo and that turret doing an incredible amount of damage on that objective. The Goose secures the objective and Calamity takes the lead here in the second half.
I would have loved to see Yixi Valk. That Valkyrie would have been huge. It could have been so massive and won them that fight. And I think that's really what it comes down to. The healing output from Valkyrie is really good. The damage potential is insane. And there's the double pull from the boot for Lyrule onto the Sigma and Reaper of the Gentle Touch and Ikkyo there.
And that worked out incredibly well for them, but unfortunately just not enough for them to be able to hold on to that objective. I was honestly pretty sure with the way that not only Creep was hiding in the back line before that fight even started, but the Blizzard from Mars that came out afterwards, I was for sure thought that it was going to at least take objective number 1, but it looks like the heals that were coming in from Training Bot and Krosky really holding everyone together on the objective despite being frozen out from the Blizzard ended up working out incredibly well for them, and they were able to take the lead. Salt does have a chance to bring it back in our next map as we head to Assault. We're going to be headed to Hanamura. And I'm definitely going to be interested to see what the teams are going to use this time around. I feel like Salt is going to continue to use this bunker composition. It's the meta right now, the Sigma Orisa, especially without Ryan in the picture right now. It makes it incredibly difficult to play anything else unless you're super, super good at playing dive. And I feel like this distance over damage setup that Salt has been putting out here is going to work out for them on this map unless Calamity has found a workaround.
I think, honestly, the way that you shut down Calamity, because Mango is getting so much value out of that Echo, is you switch off the Sigma. I would really like to see Salt try to switch up their tank line, try to switch up their comp, because giving Mango that Sigma, he's doing so much work. The Gentle Touch also playing a really good Sigma, but Mango is able to get that Gravitic Flux so fast in that Echo Ult, because that's just how Echo Ult works.
Mm-hmm.
He has to land like 2 or 3 shots, and that's Gravitic Flux.
Yep.
Like, I think that maybe since there is a swap coming in, Messa's actually getting taken out. We now have Bunny Chan, Mage, whatever you know him as, coming in. We might see a little bit of a change up, and I would really like to see that. I think Lyrule can play just about any main tank in the game, including Monkey, including Ball. I would really like to see this swap come out and maybe see a little bit of dive here. They have Yixi for the Mercy, they have Mars for the Genji. Widow can play Hana, Zen, Lucio, she can play Moira, like any healer on this roster, and Mars is actually going to be coming out, and Eternal will come in, so we might see a little bit of Doomfist. He might play that Echo. Not really 100% sure what we'll see, but I'm excited to see this map, and hope maybe they'll take my advice. Maybe not.
Well, it will have to be through the ether of the internet, since we're on a delay, whether or not that advice will come to them in their time of need or not. But I agree with you there. If they end, the only way to really delete the composition that's coming out from Calamity is to really use Eternal on that Doom, maybe a Bunny Chan, aka Bun coming in on maybe a Diva to be able to just dive past the shields. That's literally what you need to be looking to do, is essentially make the shields not an issue. for your team anymore. Bringing out Widow on the Moira, being able to get those damage balls past the shield, get those healing orbs past the shield, so that you don't have to worry about healing on the other side of those shields could be absolutely huge for the side of Salt if they work it out right. But it's going to be interesting to see if the swaps that they have made will give them success here, or if Calamity will make their mark by taking Hanamura in the series this evening.
Shields aren't a problem if you can get your entire team past that shield. And with Orisa having a stationary shield, that's a lot easier to do than if you're playing, Rein Sigma or Rein Zarya or somebody that can move those shields. Where the Zarya, kind of gives you a little bit of free reign to go in, go out. They are going to be sticking with this Orisa Sig, and I don't disagree with it. I think that maybe that's the little bit of push that they need, is taking that away from Mango, but Mango's actually coming out on the Mei. Ikkyo again on that Soldier, and I think that's a really good pick once again because he did really well. But Creep coming out on the Symmetra, I really like that pick, honestly. I think they're going to try to cheese this first point out, maybe try to TP straight to point, wall it off with Eternal on that Mei. Hunker down in the corner with Widowfaker on that Baptiste. I think this could be what they need to really push forward into this.
That will definitely give them objective number 1 for sure. The question is, are they prepared for the push that's coming in? It looks like they've already got Calamity pushed back from the choke door. As we see the Hulk come in, the teleporter does go up, and they move their way onto the high ground. It looks like Calamity is ready for the strat as they move their way in from the east side. Turret going up right now, doing damage in the back line, but is quickly going down there thanks to Ikkyo. Being able to get the Helix Rockets onto Creep to start things off as Prez and Mango able to follow up onto kills of their own. Looks like that's going to be it as Bun Bun and Bacon find themselves over the side. 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
I like the TP up top. I think that maybe they should have just shot straight for point. The tanks were outside of point. There was nothing that they were going to be able to do to rotate back fast enough. If you get that Mei through and wall off that main choke, then that's a free setup. Yeah, you have your DPS back there, but the DPS aren't going to be able to burn down a full team of 6. You might lose 1, but a 5v2 on point is much better than a 6v6 on point. It's more favorable for you.
I concur right there, and taking that high ground is only when the team is already set up on the objective. You're looking for, the time to engage, but if they're not on the objective yet, then the engagement time is all on you. Whereas it looks like Creep has swapped over to the Reaper, ends up getting the first pick onto Mango, as the Coalescence coming up from Training Bot will take down Lyrule. It's a 5v5 fight right now, right outside the objective, as we see Ikkyo able to take down Bacon with the Helix Rockets. Again, just incredible positioning right there. Training Bot able to follow up onto Bun Bun as well, with Eternal following to DeGentle. Both Creep and Widowfaker still holding on, but Widow ends up finding themselves off the side. Creep able to get out of that objective just in time, but already under the 2-minute time bank.
Now, them bringing Bacon in means that they have a Lucio player. They have a dedicated Lucio player. Bacon, I think his strongest healer, personally, I played with him a lot, I think his strongest healer is Lucio. You have beat now for that Sigil, and I think that's what's really going to turn this. It's going to come out right now.
There it is. Ends up getting all 6 as Creep able to take down Ikkyo. The bongos now coming out from Prez as the Blizzard gets deleted by Creep. Mango not able to throw it out soon enough right there. Now the wall separating out the team as Eternal taking down DeGentle. Prez following up onto Bun Bun, though, is a 2v4 fight as second tick looking to get captured right there. Prez ends up getting walled off right there and is going to end up getting frozen and taken out by Creep. Ikkyo back in the fight right there, but ends up getting a shotgun right to the back of the head. Training Bot soon to follow as Creep gets those doubles. And again, some more time added to that clock as Objective Alpha is captured.
I wasn't really a fan of Bun Bun just kind of standing in the choke, but honestly, I think it worked out better than him being on the point because it caused a 4v2 there on the point of the DPS and supports for Salt against the healers of Calamity.
All right, and we see the bongos already coming up, as well as the coalescence being wasted out. The gravitic coming out from Bun Bun ends up grabbing the gentle there at the end, as the tag visor now coming out from Ikkyo, as well as the beat from Krosky, looking to see if they can save this objective right now. Trading Bot will take down Bun Bun, but Prez will end up falling to Bacon in the end. Blizzard now coming out from Eternal, trying to get in that backline, ends up taking down Mango, but Training Bot takes down Widowmaker with the coalescence once again. Ikkyo will end up falling to Lyrule as they continue to try to fight for control of this objective, but with Eternal out of the fight now, they're going to go ahead and pull back and regroup for another push.
I think Bun Bun is playing too aggressive. That's personal though. I think that he's playing just a little bit too aggressive here. The Sigma, I think, works really well with Orisa, because when you have that Orisa shield off of cooldown, you can create that space with that Sigma shield and then fortify that ground with the Orisa. Create the space with the Sigma shield, fortify the ground. And I think him going on these flanks is really hurting the team's pushes.
Well, let's see if they can make it happen this time around. Krosky ends up getting the boop onto Lyrule, sending them to the low ground, but it looks like the halt will help, as well as Creep ends up getting the Blossom on the high ground, but is not able to get the value that they are looking for. Gravitic Flux and Beat to cancel as the Maywall goes up, looking to see if they can get some picks, but Mango falling very early in that fight. Coalescence now out from Widowmaker, going straight through their team, and Calamity, as they go ahead and wall off the Gentle, trying to see if they can get that pick, will be successful as Bonbon, also able to eat Mango's Blizzard right there. The only thing that really could have held the objective for them, as we see them starting to earn percentage right now. The Bongos will come out from Prez as they start getting the big Ikkyo now on the Reaper, taking down Bun Bun, as well as Lyrule and Widowmaker. The Blizzard getting thrown by Eternal, looking to see if they can clear that objective now. We have Mango on the Doomfist, looking to see if they can punch some people out. Will end up getting those picks onto Bacon and Eternal with the help of Training Bot, and taking it down to a minute with no ticks on the objective.
The Blizzard there, it wasn't 100% necessary. I don't mind the use. I think Eternal had good intention with it, you know, trying to freeze everybody, get everybody, but in a staggered fight like that on 2CP, you're not going to be able to get a ton of value out of it. You're gonna run into the exact problem that happened. You're gonna freeze out two people, you're gonna get the kills, but eventually that team's just gonna come right back. And if you don't take a clean fight, you're never gonna full cap these types of kills.
That is true. Bongos, Blossom, and Gravitic Flux come out, but Ikkyo is the one that comes out on top. Widowmaker now popping out the Coalescence, able to take down Ikkyo, as Lyrule falling. The Gentle touch as well. It's a 4v6 right now with Mango now coming in as the Echo getting really close to that ultimate. Prez ends up falling, as well as Lyrule to Krosky right there as the re-engage comes back in. Training Bot with the Coalescence, bringing everyone back together. Another Blossom out from Creep, ends up able to take down Ikkyo and the Gentle touch as they continue to try to hold on to this objective. Maywall separating out the rest of the team as Eternal able to get that Blizzard back online once again. Mango coming out, but the Blizzard is gonna freeze them out of that Echo form, get them taken out on the objective. First tick right now as we see the Gentle swapping over to the Hammond, using that spin to win to see if they can get a boop off of that objective. Will be unsuccessful right there as they move their way back in. The Holt ends up getting two in the slam as Lyrule ends up taking down Krosky, and the continued damage from Lyrule and the rest of the team will allow them to hold through overtime, grabbing objective number 2 for Salt.exe.
That's not the clean fight that they were looking for, but it doesn't matter because they ended up pulling it through anyway. But that's the type of thing that I'm talking about with the staggers. If you get a couple picks at the beginning of the fight and then move to point and then finish off a couple more people are going to be coming back from spawn, and that's the kind of stagger that you see. That's why you get the chance to switch the ball to Mei, to Lucio, to Reaper, to Doom, any of those stall characters. And that's what makes 2CP so, I think, disliked in the community. You know, it's personally not my favorite game mode. It's probably my least favorite game mode, you know, Control being my favorite, but just 2CP, those end stalls are just so rough for the attacking team unless you get a clean fight. I think that's why you need to, keep that Blizzard in the case that Eternal used it. Maybe you can use it up top and get like 4 or 5 picks, and then you just got one, maybe 2 people to work with, and that's gonna get you a lot more progress, a lot more like potential to take a clean fight.
I can concur with that. It's definitely interesting when you compare the fairness, I guess. Control definitely, you're starting from the same distance away from the objective. Each team essentially has its own chance to be able to get that. But every other map, whether it be Assault, Escort, or Hybrid, has that dimension of distance, whether you're on the attack or defense, and depending on how far away you are. But it looks like we're seeing the Symmetra strat once again. Let's see if they can get that value. Oh, the Maywall doesn't get up where it needs to be, though, and Creep is coming in, doing the damage, but the damage is returned by the Gentle and Training Bot. It's a 4v4 right now on the objective as the Anti-Nade comes out, allowing Eternal and Bun Bun to capture those kills right there on Dekroski and the Gentle. It looks like Trading Bot will go ahead and go for the hard reset as 40 seconds is shaved off the time bank.
Even though stall is such a huge thing on Assault, that's why you get attack and defense. That's why you play both sides. Because yeah, you get stalled out, but you also have that chance to stall the other team out. You went into overtime on Assault's attack, but now they have a chance, even if they get pushed all the way to second, to still stall that out and bring it to overtime as well.
That is true, and it looks like they're going for the side room, looking to see if they can get in there, but immediately getting deleted by Salt.exe, already anticipatory of them moving in there, just kind of sandwiched them in that room, ended up getting all the kills they needed and shaving another minute off that time.
Nanoed Creep Reaper is not something you want to walk into a hallway with. You walk around that corner and all of a sudden there's this glowing shadow boy in front of you, and that's something that you don't exactly want to see when you walk into a tight corridor. That and a Nano Junkrat, those are very scary.
All right, Prez already getting walled off from the rest of the team. Fight their way back through the barrier, gonna end up getting taken down, as well as Creep grabbing Mango from the sky. It looks like Broski has swapped over to the Mercy, as well as we see something that I've actually been seeing in comp recently, the double Sky Heroes.
And I think this is a comp that Mercy works really well in. I'm not sure about the Moira, but we do have Coalescence online, so that might change. And honestly, maybe that's the better healer pick here. But I do personally think that Ana is better at healing tanks when you've got your Mercy on both DPS.
Blizzard and Gravitic end up getting traded out as they go ahead and grab 2 picks for the side of Assault. The Coalescence coming out from Training Bot, trying to get some value, but is going to end up finding their way back in spawn. A minute 20 on the clock right now, as Calamity seems to be in desperation.
And that's what I was talking about, the Sigma's doing so much work there. Another huge Gravitic Flux, unfortunately not able to be capitalized on. Salt did play really well around that. And I really like that these angles that Creep is looking for. He went up top the scout with his shadow step, and now he's coming down the bottom to maybe surprise somebody, catch somebody off guard, because Calamity keeps trying to rotate through this side door here on their right side, and Creep is there. Creep is ready. He's just waiting for it. So
all right, well, Gravitic Flux coming out once again, grabs just about everyone that can escape though, except for Krosky, but thankfully they were on the other side of the wall, so gonna continue to hold on strong. Blossom coming out right there, but doesn't get the value needed as well, thanks to the Gentle, and that sucks. But Lyrule will come in swinging, get the triple kill with the Journal, following up onto Ikkyo with only 10 seconds remaining. I feel like we're headed to a map 5.
And even though that Gravitic Flux didn't land with anybody except for Krosky, it did get a lot of cooldowns out. It got the Ice Block, it got the Fortify, and that's really what you needed in that with Orisa's Fortify down. She is so much easier to kill because the damage reduction in Fortify is huge. And, Obviously, Calamity not able to touch there, and Salt coming up on top of that map. It is going to be a map 5, 2-2, and we are going to go to Lijiang Tower for our last map on the control, but the gentle touch with the play of the game, able to get tons of splash damage with those primary shots of Sigma. You know, those orbs, just, I love them. They feel so good to play with.
I can concur with that, and seeing the gold gauntlet too. Oh man, I cannot wait till I have enough to get my next gold gun. Those Sigma balls in that rhyme skin gonna look absolutely beautiful together. Well, we are heading into map 5, Lijiang Tower, for our final matchup tonight between Calamity and Salt.Exe. Start blowing up the chat. Who do you want to see take it away? Will Calamity cause a catastrophe and start their climb here in the new season, or will Salt.Exe find the equation that really makes it winner's time for them as they start off season 3 on the right foot? I honestly, as I've been seeing in the chat, even Chaotic Beats agrees that this is quite a good matchup between two teams in our Blackwatch division.
I 100% agree with that, and you know the score shows it. It's 2-2 right now. We're heading into our map 5, and these games could not be more even. Like we saw Salt just run away with Rialto, but then Calamity swung it back. Both teams are just playing so well that this could really go either way on our control map. And honestly, I'm really glad that we use control as our tiebreaker, because for me it's the most fun to watch, it's the most fun to play. I feel like it's the most just even match of who is better in a team fight. You don't have, you know, this initial burst onto the point is such a good like test of a neutral game, rather than are you up on ultimates, are you down on ultimates, where any other game mode, you know, you're attacking and defending. You don't really have, you know, 6 people running into a huge setup defense. I love this neutral fight.
I concur with that, and it looks like Crispin is going to take Training Bot's spot once again as we head into the control center for our first map here on Lijiang Tower. I'm definitely interested to see how the value is going to be used here for Creep, who is looking to take the Symmetra instead of Ikkyo's Reaper.
It could just be for the TP out of spawn, and it looks like it is.
And it looks like Creep's gonna swap over to that Reaper as well, and just enough distance is going to put them on the high ground first as they move their way in. It is a 5v6 fight with the freezes coming in, but not a pick to be had right there. Creep, though, able to engage in the fight and get that first pick onto Ikkyo. Bacon able to follow up onto Crispin, and right now that space is all they needed. The wall comes in, but not able to get the value that they were looking for as the objective is captured by Salt.Exe.
Something I haven't mentioned tonight is Widowfaker's nades, both the antis and the sustain nades, because if you nade your entire team with Lucio amp heals, that's so much healing coming into your team. And honestly, the nades have been really well balanced between purple and sustain nades.
Alright, well, Kroski ends up getting the first pick onto Creep after the wall separates. Lyral also falling to Kroski there in the end as the anti-nade grabs 3 but does not get the value that they are looking for. Widowfaker will end up falling there at the end. The only one left on point is Eternal, but at the 30% mark, we will see control swap over to...
And that 30% is something that you see because Bacon realizes, hey, the point is opening right now. I need to go cap that point. You know, that first fight was still going on, but Bacon had the right mindset to, hey, we're up in this fight, we need to take this point.
And the Gravitic Flux with the hold ends up getting 3 as we see the Nano coming in onto Creep, gets the double, triple kill, moving in. Blizzard thrown from Mango ends up getting pretty much everyone except for Creep right there, but without the follow-up, they get no value out of it whatsoever except for percentage continuing to climb on the objective. Crispin and Mango will fall, and Control will head back to Salt.Exe.
That Nano was so good because Creep is one of the ones that can get out of that Blizzard. You know, you don't know if you're going to get Blizzard there, but that being on him takes that swing.
That is huge. The bongos come out after the Maywall separates, and the Coalescence now coming out from Crispin, trying to hold everything together. Ikkyo does get the pick on the Bun Bun. That's the Blossoms come out on either side, but Ikkyo's is stronger. Gets the triple kill as they move their way in to recapture the objective from the lone Widow Faker. 64% for Salt, 39% and climbing for Calamity.
Krosky could not have dropped beat at a better time. That saved 3 lives there. The Reaper ult on both sides would have been huge if it wasn't for Krosky's beat. You know, saving the Sigma, who didn't have his E ability. Sorry.
The suck.
Shift ability. Yeah, shift ability. And just such a quick fight there. The gentle touch pulling out that gravitic flux is really all they needed. You know, separating that team inside and out. You're not able to get heals on the inside. That was so well timed.
All right, well, they're continuing to hold, now taking the lead on this objective, 75%, and climbing for Calamity as we see the dash for the objective coming out. Coalescence and Bongos coming up as Creep able to get the Bongos there in the backline, end up getting the Nano as well. Blizzard goes on to the high ground as everyone tries to escape and will end up being successful. Ikkyo taking down Eternal and Creep on the objective though, as Widowmaker looking to move their way in as Bun Bun and Lyrule end up getting taken down. They are going to be soon to follow. Overtime will tick away, and objective 1 will end up going to the side of Calamity.
And that's, you see there a Calamity adapt. They realize that Nano comes out on the Reaper, and they see the entire team grouped up. Last time that happened, the Reaper just ran through the entire team. They blizzard the rest of Salt. Reaper gets out of the blizzard. They all turn in focus on that Nano Reaper, and I think that is really good communication and adaptation from Calamity to realize the threat, take out the threat, and then focus on the 5v6.
That is true right there. It ended up working out incredibly well for them because they took down the entire team in groups. First the DPS, then the tank, then the heals in that order. And just because of that blizzard separating out the DPS from the rest of the team, it worked out incredibly well for them. It looks like Creep will be coming out as that Symmetra this time around, but trying to set up that TP, they wasted so much time they didn't even get the TP set up for them to move in, and already Calamity is on the objective set up, ready to go in this fight as the turrets are trying to get set up. They will end up getting taken down just as quickly as they came up. Walls coming up on either side right now, but the Maywall for Mango is showing to be much more powerful. Frizz and DeGentle getting their picks, as well as taking down Eternal right there, will allow Calamity to go ahead and grab this first objective and start their percentage fight.
I think the Symmetra can be a really good pick here. You're playing against a double shield where Sim reloads and charges her beam off of shields. You can burn through a Sigma. He's not able to eat your beam. I think, honestly, the Symmetra is a really good pick. They just took a lot of time to get to that point, and I think that's what killed them there. But Creep is going to be switching off of that Sim and going to the far end.
All right, the Maywall comes up for Eternal, looking to get some, take some value away from Crispin's Coalescence right there as they start moving their way into the objective. Now we're seeing Widowmaker come out with their Coalescence in return, looking to see if they can grab some value as Creep enters the objective as that Pharah. The Blizzard now coming up from Mango, looking to see if they can grab some picks, but Creep will take down Mango instead. Ikkyo, though, in the backline doing some damage as they regroup with the rest of the team, 50% and climbing for the side of Calamity.
And their Creep gets a lot of value, already at 50% to his ultimate, but the Blizzard coming out, and honestly just the focus from the team, they don't care about what's going on in the sky. They took that 5v6 on the ground, finished that fight early, and then whenever Creep kind of dropped down to try to get a cheeky flank, then they took care of it.
All right, the Gravitic Flux comes out, gets traded off with the Blizzard, and both beat from Bacon and Krosky, but that Blizzard is going to hold everyone together long enough to get taken out. Now the Gravitic comes out from Bun Bun as Creep and Bacon get picked on the objective. It looks like this is where we're going to see the tide turn as Salt.exe grabs the objective at the 90%.
But that is 90% in what, 2 fights? Was that 2 or 3 fights?
Yeah,
I believe it was
3
2.
fights with the initial.
Okay, so 3 fights. 3 fights there, 90%. It's going to take a lot for Salt to be able to pull this all the way back. That's a hard defense to make, and Calamity doesn't use ults. This should be a good game for them.
That is true. Bongos coming out from either side. Mirage coming up as well. Takes down Crispin and the Bongos, but Ikkyo gets Bacon in the backline, so it's an even fight right now on the objective as long as they can hold strong. Eternal and Widowmaker end up taking down Prez and Mango, though, making it a 3v1, with the Gentle being the last one to follow. 40% and climbing for the side of Salt.
That Bongo from Lyra was massive, able to damage boost the entire team, and it just didn't get focused down. It was in such a good spot, almost dead center of the point, and it damage boosted everybody. Really gave them the edge in that fight to just do exactly what they needed. The barrage came out, didn't really get a ton of value, but that Bongo was huge.
All right, well, they're coming in with almost a Blizzard and Coalescent as they move their way in. The Maywall comes up, separating out. Creep now on the Doomfist ends up punching out Ikkyo as the Coalescence gets popped by Crispin. Blizzard soon to follow as Creep taking down Mango as well. They've got to get the pick as the Coalescence comes out. Now Gravitic from Degento looking to see if they can grab that value, but Bacon has the beat ready and raring to go. The objective is cleared again, and Salt has met the percentage of Calamity.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. If Calamity doesn't use ultimates, that I think they have a chance in this. But Salt has shown to be quite a strong defensive team, that if you're pushing into this small corridor with them having ults and you don't, it's going to be rough.
The Gravitic Flux coming out from Bun Bun, questionable right there, assuming that the entire team might have been there. The Bongos coming out as the Meteor Strike goes into the backline, ends up taking down Mango right there and the Bongos. So it's a 5v6 right now on the objective as we see picks coming out for either side. Bongos now down for Lyrule as they try to hold on to the objective. Krosky ends up coming in clutch with the beat, holding everything together right now, but Lyrule will end up taking down Ikkyo after the Bongos get taken down as well. Coalescence now out from Widowmaker, looking to see if they can grab that Lucio in the sky. Will be successful as Bun Bun getting the double onto the Gentle, and Crispin press back in as the Winston immediately gets taken down by Creep. And objective 2 is captured for the side of Salt.exe, making it 1-1 here on Lijiang Tower.
And the combination there of team play between Lyrule getting that Bongo down in a safe position behind the Sigma Shield and Creep taking out the Bongo of Prez with that Meteor Strike. Honestly, that ult for ult trade, I think burning that Meteor Strike for that Bongo is so huge. I think that's such a good play because A, he got a ton of damage onto the team. He landed on about 4 people. He landed directly on that Bongo, took it out immediately. That's your damage boost gone. Even if you waste Doomfist ult to take out that Bongo, I think that's equal value because you take away that damage boost from the entire team of Calamity and you still have yours.
I can concur with that as well, but it looks like we're on to objective 3, the Gardens, as we see the speed boost from Krosky is going to allow Calamity to get to the objective first. They're going to go ahead and set up for the fight here in the side room as Bun Bun and Lyrule try to push Salt into that objective as well. Creep and Widowmaker on the Pharah Mercy, looking to get some damage in that sky if at all possible, but with Mango on the Echo, that could be questionable control already going to the side of Calamity as we see Creep and Widowmaker still trying to poke their way into the objective. Ikkyo ends up getting separated out from the rest of the team as Creep is able to get that initial pick onto Mango and already getting ready to come up on that barrage. Eternal taking down Krosky. It's a 4v6, 3v6 as the Coalescence now comes out and they go ahead and grab the objective back. 22% for the side of Calamity and 3% in climbing for Salt.
I really like Creep's value there. He got so much value by going around to the side window with Widowfaker there, getting the damage boost, just pelting rockets into the back of the team of Calamity. I think if you're the Gentle Touch there, you just need to throw up that shield on that window and take the 4v6 up front. If you take that 4v6 up front, it should be a favorable fight. Yes, eventually Creep will come through, but that's when you move. That's when you move your shield, throw it to the doorway, and you take that 4v6.
Woo! And it's a huge barrage, but the Maywall allows them to get two as well. The Mercy takes back to the sky on the objective right now in the 4v4 as Krosky and Mango take down all the ground heroes, and the only ones left are Creep and Widowfaker. The Accretion ends up finding Creep on the sky as Mango is able to solidify the kills onto Creep and Widowfaker at the 53% mark. Oh no! Just barely Eternal able to touch the objective and keep that percentage going for another 10%. And now we will see Control go back over to Calamity.
Now, Eternal did die there, and it may seem to people that he just kind of fed, but he did get quite a bit of percentage off of that. Able to touch there. Now, if he would have not been able to touch in time and then died on point, then that would have been honestly tragic for the side of Salt. But Eternal has ult here. He doesn't really need to, get that extra bit of damage there. He just stalled that, and I think it was a really good play.
Oh, and there are a lot of ults coming out to try to bring this all back. Gravitic, Bongos, and Valkyrie all coming out for the side of Salt.Exe. Krosky throws in the beat drop, but is not able to save it, and they're able to take it back at the 60% mark.
This is such an even game. We're down to the last map, the last point, and the percentages were even when that point flipped 60 to 60. And this could be the last fight that we see on this map, or we could get one more.
All the coalescence coming out to start things off from both sides right now. The barrage out from Creep ends up taking down Mango, so no Blizzard that way. Tac Visor and Blizzard looking to see if they can fight each other out as they move their way in. Creep gets res back up as Bun Bun getting the double kill right there. To Gentle able to grab Eternal and is the only one holding on. A 4v1 right now on the objective will get taken out, but long enough for overtime to tick away. The Blizzard goes on the objective, but it doesn't grab anyone. No one's able to touch in time, and Salt.Exe will take the lead in the season 3-2 this evening against Calamity.
That was such a close set of games. Those games just came down to the wire almost every single time, but you see Creep here with the massive value coming in with the play of the game, able to just clean this one up. Honestly, everybody getting put to about half HP, putting 2 rockets onto him, finishing him off. That was, good target focus by Creep, honestly.
And that's something that we saw Calamity try to deal with Ikkyo coming in as the soldier for the last round. Unfortunately, especially in the gardens, when you're in such close quarters, it's so hard to be able to get that line of sight with the Far Mercy so easily. But again, Calamity and Salt doing an incredible job this evening. Go ahead and start popping off in the chat who y'all want to see take away your player of the match this evening. Dank, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
I've been thinking about this one, and it's been really hard for me. Honestly, the two that it comes down to was Lyrule or Mango, and I think Mango just stood out to me. Able to switch up heroes, play that Mei, play that Echo, and be able to switch gears in that Echo ultimate to be able to pull ultimates as the Sigma. I think I have to give it to Mango. He was just playing so well. Those gravitic fluxes were massive, especially when paired with the gentle touches